Alrighty, let's get started with Module 6, Lesson 9, the problem set. And in this lesson, we're going to use a place value chart and metric measurement to compare decimals and answer comparison questions. Now remember, comparison questions, when we're comparing things, we're usually looking for greater than or less than or equal, something like that. So let's get started, shall we? Okie doke. So in number 1A, let's look. Express the lengths of the shaded parts in decimal form. So we're going to be looking at decimal form. Then write a sentence that compares the two lengths. Use the expression shorter than or longer than. Remember, comparisons we're using longer than, shorter than, greater than, less than. And this time they want shorter than or longer than in our answer. So the first one, we notice that this is of a meter. That's 1, 2, that is 3/10. So this is going to be 0.3 meters. Okay, and then in the next one, it looks like we have, let's see, we have 2/10, but then we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundredths. So if we have 2/10 and 7 hundredths, that's 2,700 meters. So we can just simply say that 0.3 meters is, what is it? Is it longer than or shorter than 2,700 hundredths? It is, well, we can see it is longer. It's longer than 27 hundredths of a meter. So 0.27 meters. All right, so go ahead and try B on your own and hit the pause button when you're ready. All righty, how'd you do? Well, you should have found that 35 hundredths meters is shorter than 4/10 meters because, of course, we know that 4/10 meters is also 40 hundredths. And 40 is bigger than 35, folks. All right, list all 4 lengths from the greatestest to the leastest. Well, to do that, I'm going to have to go back up and check out the other 2 measures. So we have to put these in order. Well, what's the very smallest one? 0.27. And then go ahead and pause it and fill in the others in order from the smallest, the least, to the greatest. And hit play when you're ready. Alrighty, how'd you do? I didn't give you a long how'd you do on that one because it was a very, very short problem to do. So hopefully you got that right. 0.27 or 27 hundredths, then 3/10, then 35 hundredths, and then 4/10. Let's keep moving along. And for number 3, examine the mass as shown below on the 1 kilogram scales. Put an X over the items that are heavier than the avocado. So pause it and hit play when you're ready. Okie dokes, how'd you do? Well, the one that was a little bit tricky was you looked at that and you said, well, 12 is that, or that 1 is less than 2. So wait a minute, which ones are heavier? No, that one is lighter. The apple is lighter, so 12 is less than 20. Then we have 16, 61. So those 2 are the bigger ones. Those 2 are the heavier ones, and they are heavier than the avocado, but the apple is not heavier than the avocado. That'll do it for this side, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, welcome to the flip side of town. So on this one, we have to go flip back and forth and look at the mass of the items of the fruit and write down how many ones, tens, and hundreds they have. Now wait a minute, none of them had any ones. So we're going to go ahead and pop those zeros in there right away because none of them had any ones. So zip, zip, zippity zip, zippity zip, zippity zip. Now the avocado it had 2 tens. It had no hundreds. The apple had 1 10 and it had 2 hundredths. The banana had 6 tens. And the grapes, well, they had 6 tens and 1 hundredth. So that's the chart there. So then we just have to complete the statement below using the words heavier than or lighter than in the statements. Pause the video again and fill out C on your own. Alrighty, how'd you do on that one? Well, the avocado is heavier than the apple, and the bunch of bananas is lighter than the bunch of grapes. Alrighty, moving right along to number 3. Let's continue this and chug along, and let's get her done. Let's keep going. Alright, number 3, we're going to record the water volume of each graduated cylinder on the place value chart below. So we're going to fill up all this stuff here. We're going to fill out the chart, and then we're going to compare the values using greater than, less than, or equal to. So based on the fact that we just did the last one, I'm going to go ahead and press pause and try to fill this one all by your little lonesome self. So go ahead and press the pause and see what happens. Press play when you're ready. Alrighty, how'd you do? Well, hopefully you did just fine. And remember to keep in mind that when you have tenths and with no hundredths, you could think of that number. You could think of that number as, oopsie, what's going on here? I don't know what happened there, but anyway, you can think of these numbers as, let's see, what was I trying to do there? I was trying to think of these numbers as 60, 30, and 90. Then it's really easy to see which one's bigger than the others. So when you look over at this chart, remember this 48 is not compared to 6, but it's compared to 0.60, which is 60 hundredths. Same thing with the last one. Could you say, well, 19 is bigger than 3? Well, that's really not 3. That's really 30 hundredths. Okay. I hope that helps. Nothing left to do but your homework, which is done where? That's right, at home. So I'll catch you next time, same place. Hasta la vista, baby. Psst, it's over. Get to work.